How's everybody doing? This is Philip Lod, one half of Team Lod. Live your dreams every day. And today's topic is actually something that I have in relation to what I'm teaching my students in the next 30 minutes or so. And it deals with the elements of a story. And in this particular video, what I want to encourage you guys to do is listen to the end of this video, and you'll definitely get the steps in which you can develop more compelling blogs, stories, or even videos in order to sell your products, services, or business opportunities. Now, one of the things I want to let you guys know is that your purpose or your passion in life has to be fueled by some type of emotional attachment. And this is one of the things that I didn't think of at first, just in understanding network marketing and in business in general, is that in order for you to be successful, you eventually have to come to a place where you're so passionate about it that you develop what's known as a healthy obsession. And one of the ways you do that in marketing and positioning yourself is by telling compelling stories to the degree in which your audience, your readers, your prospects, whoever you want to term them, which they want to ask more questions and eventually take massive action. Let me say that again. The key to doing this is for your audience or your readers or your prospects to take massive action and make the decision to do whatever it is that you're trying to convey to them. And in this particular video, let me tell you this. There's a saying, and you've probably heard this in network marketing, and it's cliche. And what it is that facts tell, but stories sell. And what you want to do is get to a position where you can find that emotional attachment to whatever story that you're bringing to your audience, to where they're compelled enough to be persuaded to take massive action. Now, this can come a number of ways. This can come a number of ways, as I've talked about in videos before. This could be through authority. This could be through reciprocity. This could also be through likability, charisma. This could be through consensus, as well as scarcity. Now, most network marketers or most so-called leaders in their particular field, they try to use simply one or two elements. Primarily, you may see, get on board right now because this is the biggest thing since sliced bread, and we're only doing this at this amount of time for this price. Otherwise, you're gonna have to pay more money. Fortunately, let me say that. Fortunately, if there's value to whatever you're offering, then what's going to happen is people don't care about the price. And I've said this before. People do not care about the price simply because you're providing them value. Now, let me tell you what you need to do. In developing compelling stories, you have to follow what's known as the basic elements to a story. And the basic elements are these. You have an initial action. You have maybe a conflict or a problem that needs to be solved. Okay. You also have a series of events or episodes known as your rising action. You then have a climax. This is where you exhibit or you tell how change must occur. All right. You then have falling action, a conclusion, and then a resolution, and then a conclusion. It's similar to what you'll see in any good fictional novel, but in the story of your life or in the story of positioning your product, service, or ideas, these same elements hold truth. These same elements are based off of interpretation of whatever your customer want, need, or desires. Now, let me go into it real quick. For instance, I'm in graduate school right now, and this is the last couple of months before I graduate with to be honest with you, it's my fourth master's degree in education. And so what I try to encourage people all the time is that learning in itself is a lifelong process. There'll probably never be a time where I've stopped learning, because I have not only a desire to want to learn, but to also transfer that same thirst for knowledge to other people. That's why I'm in the position, that's why you see the classroom as you do, because I'm going to always switch roles and become dependent upon either one side or the other as being a teacher or a student. Now, how does this work in network marketing? Simply put, you are who you are. Nobody can tell you how to be a better you, okay? But the initial conflict or the problem that you may not necessarily be that you're not getting the results that you want. It may be you have not developed or matured enough in order to overcome any obstacles that come your way. Because if you were clear on your why, and if your why isn't about serving and helping others first, then any results that you receive are going to be temporary. Meaning, if you joined your company out of desperation because you needed to make money, because you were possibly unemployed, or because you were not contributing like you should have to the household, then what's going to happen is every person that you come across will be looked at as either your property in terms of a sale, or they're going to be looked as you being a taker, seeing as what you can get from them versus what you can offer other people. One of the ways in which you can tell better or more compelling stories is simply look at it from the other person's point of view. Go in people's shoes and actually try to fill those shoes to see where they're at in this particular moment in time. Don't give them any malarkey, or don't give them any BS about, in 3 to 4 years, you'll be achieving this, this, and a third, because none of us are promised the next moment in our lives. So what I would encourage you guys to do is, simply put, look at your business from the standpoint of your customers or your niche. Look at it. What is it that keeps them up at night? What are they thinking about most often during the times of the day? Because as we all know, all of your gurus and all of your leaders tell you that whatever you think about, whatever your dominant thoughts are, is in a nutshell who you are. I'm always thinking of ways in which I can better help people in their conditions. That's probably why you won't see me on the major stages all the time, unless it has to do with something academic, unless it has to do with something service oriented. That's just me. I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying that it's one way is better than the other. That's just me in terms of who I know I am at this point. Trying to emulate people that you clearly are not like is going to continue to make you struggle in the long run. So get to the point of this. As a father, one of the things that I enjoy doing is coaching. And that's just simply an extension of me teaching and doing videos and things like that. So the other day we had a game. We actually had back-to-back games. One on Tuesday, right after Labor Day, and then we had another game on Wednesday. Well, the Tuesday game, my players did very well. And I teach 9 and 10-year-olds, well, 8 and 9-year-olds in baseball. And so what I found out was sportsmanship, and this is how even in business, in network marketing, how I had to look at my own personal business was sportsmanship, meaning you never underestimate your competition. That could be your sponsor, that could be your upside, that could be your cross team, that could be somebody in somebody else's company or industry. And the reason why everybody is competition outside of your immediate team is because you're all vying for the same person. You're all vying for those numbers. You're all vying for the same people. Now, this is what's funny about it. When we were playing the game on Tuesday, we came around and we actually won it out, and my gentlemen were glad and they were happy. But it's during those times of stress, because that Wednesday, they actually took for granted their last win, which was the night before. And this is one of the things that I stressed to them. I said, look, you're only as good as your last win. And believe it or not, for 8 and 9-year-olds, this made sense to them. They were trying to size up the other team, so to speak. And one of the things that they were doing was they were already had it in their head that they've won the game without any real preparation. And the reason why I say they didn't have any real preparation is because mentally they took for granted where they were at in order to better play the game. And as a result, we unfortunately lost. They were able to take themselves out of it earlier when when the opposing team actually caught a stride earlier on. In the first inning, the team scored 5 runs. So then you saw this transfer to the way they wanted to field, the way they wanted to pitch, and they pretty much gave up in that first inning, even though they hadn't even gone up to bat. And what I'm saying is, and how this makes sense to network marketing is because oftentimes we'll see other people and we'll look at these people on stage or these people on Facebook and they'll say, look, I just scored a $1,500 day today. And that might have been your goal, but you hadn't reached it yet for whatever reason. And you're saying to yourself, well, doggone, I might not be as good as I think I am. So therefore, this may not be any good. Or we take ourselves out of it before we even begin. Understand this, that person who just succeeded, they succeeded for a reason. Just like on the flip side of the coin, you have not succeeded for any particular reason. Now, how does this come across to your prospects and leads without you lying, or without you embellishing the truth? Is this. What you want to do is simply put, one of my mentors said this, simply just be yourself. Do not talk of your struggles while you're in the struggle, because then you continuously create the world in which you live in. However, what you want to do is take your life lessons and continue to work towards those skills you need. As you're going through the struggle, you continuously, well, let me say it like this. The one thing that you must understand right now, this moment, especially if you're struggling, or especially if you've reached a plateau in your success, is this. Learn to be appreciative, because it could always be worse. And I know that sounds cliche, and the reason why you tell these compelling stories is because you should be showing moments of appreciation. Man, I didn't score a $1,500 day today, but you know what? I woke up this morning in order to do something about it. Somebody didn't wake up today. I have a sponsor, and let me just name one of them. One of my mentors and leaders in this business who really shifted my paradigm was a gentleman by the name of John Chapman, okay? Johnny Blaze, if you're watching this video, I thank you, brother. Salute. And the reason being is because the whole time I was in network marketing in the past, I had this idea that it was about me. It was about what I knew as an academic, as a researcher, as a lecturer. And my minimal success in the past led me to be more frustrated, led me to blame everyone outside of myself into determining what I needed to do and what I needed to improve on. And as an English teacher, the irony is this: I was not a very good storyteller. And now, the lessons that I learned is, I don't even consider it storytelling. I consider it just simply just me being myself. I digress. But check this out. So what you have to do, the one thing that you must learn right now is to be appreciative. Be appreciative that you do have a system in place that can get you over that threshold. You may have to go back, rework the basics. You may have to take a long, hard look in the mirror and say to yourself, is this something in which I can serve my purpose with, or my passion? What is my why? People say this all the time, but it didn't hit me until I realized that regardless of what I was doing within the system, it was not working because I was not being my true self. And that's what you have to do. And the compelling stories is simply this. It's just you expressing yourself, having that emotional attachment to it, and then putting people in a position to where they want to either, one, ask more questions, or take massive action. I would encourage you guys to definitely get with whoever put you into this business. Well, before you even do that, I want you to actually look at yourself and say, what is it that I'm here for? What is it that I'm on this planet to do? That could be serving people, that could be helping people, that could be teaching people, whatever the case may be. You have to ask yourself, you have to be honest with yourself, because a lot of people are just hustling, a lot of people are just going day by day, and it's simply just not the way to go personally. Um, any tips you have to look for, in terms of how your stories come about, how your stories, look at any of the good movies that you see, you know, those elements to the story are also patterned after your own life. And you have to be honest enough with yourself to see that. Even if you see yourself as a superhero or a rock star in your industry, that's what you do. It may seem like I'm babbling right now or rambling on and on, but the method to my madness is this. Um, if you're having trouble being able to present your business or service or business or products in a compelling way, without trying to manipulate people or hustle people, one of the things you have to do is assess yourself and understand where you're at in the equation. Because, for instance, while hair care or while hair extensions may be beneficial in certain communities, it may not be something that I'm called to do. No more than selling information, because I may have an existing belief that information is free, simply just like with this video. You know, um, I may just get more joy or pleasure or fulfillment out of how people respond to me offering them different tips, strategies, and ideas. You know, whether we join or whether we work together, I don't know if right now, to be honest with you, I don't even know if I really care at this point. And that's not a bad thing, because eventually dividends will pay off. Maybe in better relationships, it may be in better support, it may be in monetary gains or materialistic gains. Whatever it is, I have to learn to be grateful where I'm at right now and just keep pushing. Keep doing those things that make me Philip Lyde, the prosperous rhinoceros, and simply keep it what it is. Um, Telling your story is more to it than just, honestly, is more to it than just that basic, slope that you see, because you may be at that particular point of the story where change must occur. If you need a sponsor, if you need somebody to talk to, if you need somebody who can put you in a position to where you can get over that hump, me personally, I think I'm one of the best people to do it. I'm not famous, so I don't have any strings attached to it. I don't have any ulterior motives. Otherwise, I'd be probably trying to always put off what I'm doing successfully. I'll tell you as black and white as I can, good and bad, because I have nothing to hide. And what I would encourage you to do is get around people like you, or get around people that back up. Get around people you need to be like in order to take your business to the next level. Again, before I go off too much onto my rant for the day, this is Philip Lyde, the prosperous rhinoceros, one half of Team Lyde. Live your dreams every day. Peace and blessings for now. P.S. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, any of the other social medias. You can ask me any questions that you want. Remember, I've been doing this for quite some time. I'm a professional educator. All right. By day, I teach in the classroom, as you see here. By night, I do my business when I do my business. So nobody works harder than me in that respect. Let's make the transition. Let's build these communities up. Let's have a standard of ethics in which we could all have a better reputation as entrepreneurs, as leaders, as businessmen and women. Peace.